Hello, everybody. Welcome to BAF. I screwed up.
Yep.
And I'm going to get a punishment shot. So we are recording our first bit here because...
We're re-recording our first bit here.
Yes.
Because super producer Ron fucked the goddamn goose again.
Yes, I did.
All right.
I did. So I'm going to take a punishment with the punishment wheel here. And it's only fair because I
somehow left his own fucking mic on mute.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you do that?
I don't know. I had Stu's mic working. I was like, oh, this sounds great. And then I listened to me. I was like, why is mine sound so... Oh, fuck. I have my shit muted. What the hell? So I get a punishment shot. I admit it. I deserve it.
I hope it's something toxic.
Cock blocked by BAC.
Oh, Sammy!
Sammy, we need a punishment shot.
Come on down.
Oh, fuck. Anyways,
I don't know if you can hear us or not.
All right, so we will be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and get Sammy, and we can get my punishment shot rolling. All right, so we are back, and Sammy is behind the bar right now making my punishment shot, so I'm going to go ahead and do the details. So, of course, we are doing a favorite of mine because me and Stu have had a lot of episodes in the past that we've done. We did the Star Trek trilogy with William Shatner, with the Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, and Voyage Home, which I remember you hated. And then we also did Reindeer Games, we did Criminal, and we also did Last Blockbuster. Yep. We've done a lot of episodes together.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, yes. That was a fan request from our super fan of BAC and BAF, Anna. But the thing is that me and Stu have always enjoyed talking about movies that we love, and this is something that's kind of been in the works for a while now, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've talked about this for a while. We're just going to figure out a good scheduling time. To fit it in where that's the two of us.
For the Toxic Avenger, yes. So the Toxic Avenger, big fan of those films. The Toxic Avenger was released May 31st, 1984, directed by Michael Hers and Lloyd Kaufman. So, you know what? Before we do that, I'm going to take my little punishment shot. So, Sammy, if you want to...
Oh, I see some pink to it.
I know it's going to be... If you want to just go on the mic there and just say what it is.
You sure that one's on?
Yeah,
sure that one's on?
I just turned it on. I just turned the mic on. So what am I drinking here, Sammy?
Well, do you want to drink it first?
No, I want you... Should I drink it first and then you tell me? Okay,
Let's see how bad it is.
This is... Oh, God. I don't know what the fuck this is. It's pink and it's going to taste like shit. It's doable. It's watermelon and very sweet. It's very sweet. Is that got peppermint in it? Is that watermelon and peppermint? Oh, that's fucking god awful. It's too sweet. I don't like it. What is it?
So it's the Smirnoff Watermelon Zero.
Okay.
The Ruppelmint.
Yeah.
Rumplemints.
Some of that. The Jameson Orange. And banana liqueur.
Okay. That's an interesting mixture. So there is watermelon. The watermelon Zero.
Smirnoff.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Sammy.
You're welcome.
I definitely deserve that. Bye, Sammy.
Thank you, Sammy.
You're welcome.
All right, so I got my punishment shot in, so we'll get back to the details of the movie. And, of course, like I said, we've always been a fan of Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah.
Me and Stu have known each other for, since 2006. We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Almost 15, 16 years.
No, it's over that. Over 16 years, because, my oldest is over 16.
Yeah. But we've always been talking about doing this, and we finally get our chance to do it. So other movies that Lloyd Kaufman has directed, which is a huge list of movies. Here. We got The Girl Who Returned. We got The Battle of Love's Return. We got Big Guns. What's the Fuss? Squeeze Play, when he got into his sex comedies in the early 80s. And then we got Waitress. We got Stuck on You, which I believe Stuck on You actually had the actor who played Melvin, I believe. I remember he was like wiping like smashed potatoes on his face and stuff like that. But then The First Turn On. No, it was The First Turn On. I'm sorry. It might have been The First Turn On. If you want to check that for me.
Oh, well.
Then he did the classic, The Toxic Avenger, which we're doing today. He did Class of Nukem High. He also did The Toxic Avenger Part 2. He did The Toxic Avenger Part 3, The Last Temptation of Toxie. He did Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, which is a classic from the early 90s. He did Tromeo and Juliet. He did Terror Firmer, which is a fun one, which is actually based off his book of independent filmmaking. He did Citizen Toxie, The Toxic Avenger Part 4, which is when he did his comeback for Toxic Avenger. He did Poultrygeist. You remember that one, the musical? Basically, Chicken of the Living Dead. He also did Return of Nukem High, Volume 1 and Volume 2, when he basically went into the whole scene, because I was released in the mid-2000s, where a lot of directors were doing, like, Kill Bill Volume 1, Volume 2, Matrix, Reloaded Revolutions, where basically it was a film where they filmed it at the same time, but they split it into two parts. I think Harry Potter did it too, with the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2, but he wanted to do his own version, and that was Return to Nukem High, which is a good, fun film. Plenty of gore, TNA, and it's a fucking musical. Then he also did another one, which hasn't been released on format yet, but it's actually one that I've been looking forward to watching. I know he puts it in independent cinemas, and this is his latest one called Shakespeare Shitstorm, which I believe you've never seen or never heard of.
No.
Yeah. If you watch the trailer, go on YouTube and look up Shakespeare Shitstorm, you'll see it. It looks like a crazy wild ride. But the budget of this movie, let's see here. We have the budget of this movie was $500,000. And modest initial theatrical release, but achieving long-term success through VHS and DVD sales. So it didn't really make any money, but it made more of a cult following from VHS, which a lot of trauma films have made. The Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie, now this is a shock. We got critical score, 70%. A 70% critical score, and then an audience score of 63%, which is mostly trauma fans, but it's a loved movie. It's probably Lloyd Kaufman's movie that he's remembered for, and that's what people think of whenever they hear Lloyd Kaufman. They know The Toxic Avenger. But it didn't really make that much money, but critical score did pretty good. The cast in this movie are Mitch Cohen as the Toxic Avenger. We got Kenneth Kessler as the voice, which is dubbed over for the Toxic Avenger. We got Mark Togel as Melvin, as he becomes the Toxic Avenger. We got Andrea Miranda as Sarah. We got Pat Ryan Jr. as Mayor Peter Bogutti, who's the fat mayor inside this movie. We got Cindy Manchin as Wanda. We got Gary Schneider as Bozo. Robert Picard as Slug. Other movies at the time that was released, which I could say compared to the Toxic Avenger. Got some great movies here. We got Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I'm sure we all know that one. We have 16 Candles. We have Firestarter. And then we have The Natural. And then Once Upon a Time in America from Sir Louis Leon.
Yeah, it absolutely fucking fits.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It fits that whole genre of movies altogether. Yeah. But seriously, I mean, it's a lot of fun and everything. And I'm looking forward to talking about this. But before we get into the rest of the movie, we got to get into the drink, which you got to remember, this is a cheap movie. So I think we're going with a cheap drink. Stu picked it out here. So what are we drinking today, Stu? Again?
Okay. So, surprise.
Spicy boner!
Yeah, that's me.
Oh!
That's me. 100%. Yep, not even.
Hey, we get 2 punishment shots. There we go.
Yeah. Spicy boner.
You might get another
Spicy boner.
Oh, let's see what you got here. You got grab something yummy, you ass.
Oh, no.
You got lucky. You want a barrel of punishment, or what do you want?
Just grab me something that looks nice in there. Grab me a screwball. I haven't had a screwball in forever.
Fucking, I got it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's all right on top.
You got a screwball. So his punishment is a screwball. So the nice thing about grab something yummy, it's whatever you want, as long as it's alcoholic. So I hate that shit.
That's nice.
you can go ahead and enjoy it. Yeah, keep taking them out of that barrel because I don't want them. But seriously, what are we drinking today?
Okay, so I decided to go something cheap and shitty. Like we did last Blockbuster, we did Steel Reserve.
Yep.
And I know we've done some other low end stuff before.
I think we did. You said Steel Reserve, and there was. I'm trying to remember the other one we did. When Colonel was a fan request, Reindeer Games. I remember we did some a cocktail and stuff like that. But I think Steel Reserve from the last Blockbuster, I believe.
That was
yeah. So,
but we've done low end stuff. But the whole point is the cheap shit you can get your hands on when you're watching this, when you're a teenager or early teens. Just getting your hands on to whatever you can to get the job done. So I decided, all right, we're gonna go malt liquor. I wanted Mad Dog. Couldn't find any Mad Dog. I stopped by 3 different stores.
You don't even think if it exists because
I don't know if it exists.
I've heard about. I remember we were talking to Ragnar about it.
He said
there's 40s that exist.
He said, check at 7-Eleven. And I went to 7-Eleven. They didn't have it. I went to Sheetz. They didn't have it. I went to not the Fast Mart right here on Brock, the one that's further up 20, that little gas station right there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Whatever that. I think that might be an Exxon, maybe.
Yeah.
Didn't find it there. But I went ahead and I checked these different places. I couldn't find it. So I went ahead and I was like, fuck it. We're going to settle for something green. We're going to settle for good old Mickey's malt liquor. All right. Less than $3 a can. The big boy can, 24 ounces.
It's a good looking can.
Yeah.
It's a good looking can. Got a little B on the top. Mickey's. It's like a little Irish theme on it.
So fuck it. Let's go.
All right.
I wonder what we're going to say about it, Ron.
Oh, of course. My next review.
Yeah, Ron.
Salute.
Prost.
Cheap and refreshing.
Not as refreshing as when it was ice
warm.
cold and we just opened it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
It's all my fault. But hey, I got punished for it.
You did.
And Sammy punished me good. So yeah. I guess I'll start the review on this. This is it's cheap, it's refreshing, it does the job. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this drink. This purpose is not like going out for taste. Its purpose is to get drunk. Get a whole bunch of cans of these and just drink them down and get drunk. It tastes like shit water, but it's fine. It's refreshing. It's not, as long as it's ice cold. I cannot drink this warm because that would be shit right there. But
so what you're saying is I need to get a can, just leave it out in the heat and have that as your punishment shot.
That would be god awful. I mean, you could do that, and I would not like it. Warm beer is never good. I mean, other than Guinness beer, you're supposed to drink Guinness warm, but or room temperature. I don't know. I would have to give this a half a thumb. And the reason why is because it does its job. And, if you're in a pinch and you need something, you need to get drunk and you don't have a lot of money, go to the store and pick up a can of this and it will do its job. Pick up multiple cans of this. But, I remember you said that you were also trying to look for Bud Ice.
Well, yeah, so that was one of the options I saw in the 40s. Because I had in my mind when I was thinking what we're going to get for this, like I said, Mad Dog, like 40 ounces.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a good visual for what this is. And they had a few different 40 ounces, but the one that stuck out to me was Bud Ice. And I was like, maybe Bud Ice would work. It's been a while since I've had Bud Ice, but
I used to drink a lot of that when I worked at FIC, when I worked at Budweiser, and I used to get that stuff a lot, like the 6-packs and the bottle and everything else. And it was ice cold. It was good for what it did.
Yeah.
But I think that's a better tasting beer than this. Yeah. I mean, this is a what does this say?
This is a malt liquor.
Yeah. It's a much better tasting than this, but. Like I said, it's.
I might have something as a surprise for later on. Maybe we'll see.
Really? Okay, I'm curious what it is. I'm curious, but
you gotta finish that can first, and then we'll see.
I'm almost there, man. This can's going down.
Oh, wow, really quick. I wonder why.
Because we already drank half of it in the first segment. So, as of course, you guys missed it. We recorded a whole segment, this little segment right here, and I fucked up on the sound. So we were re-recording it and trying to reenact what we did before. But I think it's working out because I got punished and Stu got punished.
Yes, I did.
Not really. You got a nice punishment shot.
It is what it is, though.
You got something yummy, in your opinion. So, what do you get this?
3/4. It's what it is. It's middle of the road. When it's cold, it is palatable.
Yep.
It's refreshing.
Yep.
It's light, but it's very bland. There's nothing special about it at all when you think of a malt liquor.
Yeah.
That the general malt liquor taste.
Right.
It's gonna be something like this. It's gonna be just middle of the road, easy to drink, quick, cheap, and get the job done, down and dirty.
Yeah.
That's what this is, and there's a reason it's been around since the fucking 60s. Is it's effective and easy to mass produce. So I'm happy with what it is. Is this something that I think is high quality? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But for the purpose that it serves, it does well.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get into our break, we're going to ask one question, and then we'll get into the Toxic Avenger. When was your first time introduced to Troma?
I believe this one. 95% sure. I saw it on a bootleg VHS from a buddy of mine.
Of a bootleg would be the same amount as it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is around a little after I, started falling in love with like B horror movies and stuff like that, and then I was able to really enjoy how much they were chewing the scenery in this, and the over the top aspect, and you just saw everybody was having a great time.
Yep.
It was bad. It was absolutely bad, and even my young dumb ass self could recognize this is not a quality movie at all.
No, it ain't.
But fuck it, they are having fun.
Yes.
And everything is so over the top, so exaggerated. I just went on a hunt and started seeing anything that I could by Lloyd Kaufman and the entire universe that he built up.
Yep.
And then got to see the spinoffs of other people that came through Troma and go on to make their own movies, James Gunn, Roth, and everything like that. Just to see them grow from this weird, tiny little cult of actors and filmmakers to become big name, fucking big swinging dicks in the fucking industry.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yeah.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker did a little a tidbit at the end of Terra Firma about transgender, and it was a little funny thing at the end. So they are even friends with Lloyd Kaufman, and of
Lots
course
of people would go through that would be famous in other things, but have an appreciation for the over-the-top fun that Kaufman and Troma as a whole was having.
Yeah.
And so they would come and still do little cameos, little tiny things, just because, fuck it, we're going to have some fun here.
Exactly. So the way it came to me on my first movie, I have two ways of how this, because one of them, I don't remember if it was before or after, but I remember in the late 90s, I went to a place where you trade and buy movies and games and stuff like that. It was a place called Replay. I actually was very good friends with the owner, Bill. And I
don't let him lie to you. He has no friends.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
But anyways, I remember going into the DVD section of the used sections, and I saw this thing called Tromeo and Juliet, and it said like kinky sex and dismemberments and gore and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. It seems something weird. And I remember it said like piercings and tattoos. It was a very interesting like commercialization of what you're grabbing. The art always grabs you. So I took that home and watched that, and I was like, what the fuck am I watching here? And I was like, this is kind of fun, and it's horribly cheap and just like bad writing. But then I found out that the writer, I remember on the DVD, it says from the writer of Scooby-Doo. So the Scooby-Doo movies was written by James Gunn, who also has become I think he's a whole, what is he, the thing for DC now?
Yeah, the head of DC.
The head of DC, but he also did the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. He did Slither.
DC Films. Head of DC Films.
Yeah, head of DC Films. I think he's released the new Superman film and other movies produced by DC. But he really got big with the movies he's done. I mean, the fact that Disney had him, and Troma and Disney do not mix when you think about
Why
it.
not?
Well, I mean, you can. I mean, the fact that they were looking out. But there was another movie I remember he did where it was like a superhero movie. I don't remember what it was called. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, but he's done some other great movies, but he wrote the Scooby-Doo movies, and he wrote Tromeo and Juliet. So I watched it, enjoyed it. And now I was on a hunt for anything from Lloyd Kaufman because I saw that Lloyd Kaufman was the director, to the point where I've seen all of them, Citizen Toxie, The Toxic Avenger. But then The Toxic Avenger, I also stumbled upon on the internet in the old days. If you guys remember.
That's what it was called. With Rainn Wilson.
Super? Yeah, I remember that.
Rainn Wilson and Elliot Page.
Yes.
Or Ellen Page at the time.
Whatever. Elliot.
At the time it was Ellen. It's now Elliot.
Yeah. But I remember the days where there was like these websites where you can look at horror scenes from different movies. I remember I saw Day of the Dead on there, and I saw the scene where the guy was getting ripped apart in Day of the Dead. But I remember the kill scenes from the Toxic Avenger, and it kind of like opened my world. It's like, oh my God. And then it gave you like a low definition quality on Real Player. I'm sure you guys know what Real Player
that you see now.
Exactly. But you got to watch the whole movie for free online, and I think I remember watching it on that. So I don't know if that was before or after when I bought Tromeo and Juliet. I think Tromeo and Juliet is what led me to Troma, but I did see the Toxic Avenger online, and now I own it. If you see right here, Toxic Avenger, I got Tromeo and Juliet, Return to Nukem. I have a huge collection of Blu-rays from Troma, and I enjoy their films because it's not the typical film that you see in the theaters. It's not the mainstream. It's independent underground filmmaking, which Lloyd Kaufman is a big collaborator with. He supports independent filmmaking. It's art. He feels like it's truly art, but it is a different form because it doesn't have all the people trying to edit the films. He gets to do whatever he wants as gore, TNA, and just all the craziness of his films. And the Toxic Avenger was one of the biggest culprits before he was into sex comedies beforehand. And then he did the Toxic Avenger, and it was something different, to the point where Citizen Toxie Part 4 has a narration in the beginning, in the intro, of Stan Lee. Stan Lee actually does the intro on Citizen Toxie. So you can see how the movie has gained a cult status, and to the point where I believe they made a remake. It's already done, but it hasn't been released yet.
Yeah.
Which it has.
Do you want to go into that now? You want to go into that later?
We'll get into that when we talk about the movie. But yeah, it's Tromeo and Juliet is my introduction to Troma, and I love the movie, and now I love Lloyd Kaufman. I like anything he does, and anything that he puts out in any format, I will go and see because I enjoy his work. It's just fun. It's just stupid fun. Would you call this stupid fun?
It is stupid, and it is fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if it fits in with stupid fun.
You don't think it fits in with stupid fun?
It's stupid. It's very stupid, and it's fun.
So it's stupid fun. I mean, how does that fit in the genre?
So it's one of the things you just in your gut. It is or it isn't, and there is no clear-cut definition of stupid fun. But this is stupid, and this is fun.
Yeah,
but it's not that line of stupid fun.
I guess we'll get into it with our review. We're gonna go ahead and take a break, and we will be right back.
Hey there, it's the Barrel Age Chicks. I'm Sammy.
I'm Snow.
I'm Crystal, often called Moused, and I'm here too.
Yay! And then we also have Yen and Harley, who sadly are not with us, but that's okay. We're here to talk to you about our podcast. Woo! Tune in because it's a lot of fun, and you get to hear the chick side of things.
You're gonna BS about movies and drinking and life and momming.
Lots of laughing. Lots of laughing.
I laugh, but it's great.
Yes,
we have finished our first season.
And we're starting our second season.
Woo!
Good Lord.
2024. Here we come.
I know. Enjoy it. Join us on all of the platforms.
Hear them talk and me listen.
You talk.
You can find us on Instagram and Facebook.
Pretty much anywhere you can hear voices on a phone.
And yeah. So give us a follow. Check us out.
Watch us give Ron aneurysms.
It's the best part.
And thanks for listening. We will talk to you soon.
What is up, guys? We are back after our break. So me and Stu are going to go ahead and knock out and talk about the Toxic Avenger.
The Toxic Avenger.
Yes. Toxic Avenger is such a fun movie. The funny thing about this movie is that I've seen it many times. I own the Blu-ray. I'm sure you've seen it many times. Sammy watched it for the first time last night.
The original she watched for the first time?
She's never seen it. She's never seen it. I tried to get her to watch it. She says that we watched this in Toxie also, part 4. And she was just looking at me and just giving me this look.
Very judgmental.
And rolling eyes and everything else.
It's meant to be bad.
Well, the funny thing is we were watching this. I was sitting in my chair. She was sitting on the left side of me. And I was like, just watching it. And she just budged out and says, "This is so stupid." I'm like, "But it's fun, isn't it?" I was like, "It's back, but it's great." And she was like, then we watched it all the way through, and we got to the end. She says, "The movie is so stupid, but I can understand why it's liked." And she was open to it. She said she enjoyed it to a point. And I was like, "See, that's what it is. It's just for your enjoyment. It's a fun movie. I mean, it's not like Oscar writing. It's not. It's really bad writing. But you got to remember, it's the 80s. There was a lot of 80s horror movies that came out, and they weren't as good, but they were fun to watch. This one is just pure cheesiness. It's just 100%. Pure, and
it's over the top. It's like when sometimes actors get told, "All right, you tone it down. Just relax.
Yeah,
be more natural, be more regular." Kaufman's like, "No, go for everything you have. Pull up every last bit of excitement, emotion that you think this character can have, and turn it to 11. That's what I want."
And also breaking the rules. They broke a lot of rules with cinema. Kid being killed and head crushed in the middle of the road. A dog being killed, which actually was the most hated scene in this movie. Nobody cared about everybody else being killed, the kid being killed. But as soon as they see the dog sliding around getting hit by a shotgun, people complained.
Rightfully so.
I know.
Dogs are more important.
It is. It's true. But I watched this, and the dog, and Sammy was watching. She was like, that was her face. Seriously, was like that. I was like, and
I do like watching it with virgins to the film, just so you can turn and look at. There's certain scenes you know that are just gonna be like get to it for people, and you're just like, and you want to watch them for their reaction.
Yeah,
seeing the ridiculously, the insanity for the first time.
Yeah.
And that's what you're enjoying it more when you're watching with somebody who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Or the other side of the coin, when you've seen it, watching with somebody, you've seen it 1,000 times, and you're just quoting the fucking lines over and over again to each other. That's where the happy place is, right there.
Oh yeah. And the way this movie starts, it does like a little narration, like a lot of superhero movies do. But then it does that whole 80s music, and it's going into the whole gymnasium. And you just see the camera just panning right through all these people working out, and you see those two little gay guys.
Wasn't that
with music?
Wasn't that the two directors? Wasn't that Kaufman and
no,
and his partner?
Oh no. I know what Lloyd Kaufman looks like. That was not Lloyd Kaufman. Actually, Lloyd Kaufman wasn't in this movie at all. I didn't see him at all. The two guys, I don't know if it was Michael Hers. I don't know if it was Michael Hers, because Michael Hers was the co-director of this. But no, Lloyd Kaufman was on this movie. He did a cameo at the end of Citizen Toxic. But I really know Lloyd Kaufman. I've seen him in so many things. I've even seen him on guests on the Angry Video Game Nerd, which is on YouTube. Check them out. Very fun show on YouTube. But no, Lloyd Kaufman did not have a cameo in this. Or maybe he did, and it was it was in like pass or in the background or something like that. But that was not him in the gymnasium. The two gay guys, because they were actually throughout the film.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't them. But I thought it was kind of funny how they did that, because that's when we were first introduced to Bozo. Which, what did you think of Bozo altogether?
Fucking insane.
His screams, his eyes popping out of his eyes.
He went so far over the top. It was like, this is ridiculous.
Yes. You still trying to look up to see if that was Lloyd Kaufman in there?
Yeah, no, I could have sworn.
No, Lloyd Kaufman was not in this movie. He, like I said, he might have been in background, but I didn't notice him. I've seen him in cameos. Like, he cameoed in Slither. He cameoed in a lot of James Gunn movies, because James Gunn came from the whole Troma universe. And I remember him in the sheriff's office in Slither. I remember him being one of the prisoners in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I think he was even in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He always puts a cameo of Lloyd Kaufman in his films, like a quick little small cameo.
That's because, he's playing homage to where he came.
Yeah. Which is really good. But no, I mean, that whole scene all together with them, you meeting like the two chicks and the two guys, basically the punks and everything, and they're making fun of Melvin. When you see Melvin coming out with the little mop, looking all goofy and shit, what did you think of that?
Melvin worked so well as Mop Boy. It was so well. It was somebody you could understand why people, just by the look of him, they got fucking pissed off.
Yeah, just
seeing this kid, and then they just exaggerated the entire stance, but it's like the most annoying kid. And then they would show things of him being an idiot and fucking shit up, like putting the mop in the fucking water and the hot tub water.
Yep,
stuff that would give them reasons to be fucking mad at this fucking kid.
Oh yeah.
So yes, they're bullies, but they're also, there's a reason not to like Melvin. Melvin is extremely
Which
unlikable.
is funny, because his personality changes when he becomes a Toxic Avenger.
He becomes very, very cool. And
and
sophisticated
very
as
like
well.
heartfelt and a
Yes.
hero. But when you see him as
competent.
Melvin, he's just like this like goofy guy that just this little voice that he has, and he's just got this goofy face, zits all over and everything else. But of course, these punks, they fucking hate him and they want to get
They hit
play a
run
prank
killers.
on him.
They hit and run killers.
Yeah, which that scene right there when you see the kid going on the bike and his, I think, sister or mother or something like that.
Yep.
You be careful out there.
Yep.
And they said that they were doing like points.
Be safe.
Yeah.
On the fucking helmet that's barely fucking on.
They got little points on the car with the X's of things that they hit.
Yep.
You saw like a dog on there. You saw
And
a handicapped
explaining
person.
the to this day, I'll make references, how many points if we're driving down the road. It's this, I hit this. And I've done that all my life. And either people get it or they don't get it. And that's like a testing line. Either they can immediately say some points and they roll with you.
Yeah.
Or they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And you're like, oh yeah, you ain't cool. You ain't cool.
And that scene was great because it was the first like really gory scene in this movie. And you see this little kid, which you don't kill kids in movies. It's very rare that you kill kids in movies because people have controversy. You see this kid get fucking hit over the car. He rolls over the car and it's like, no, I got to, you didn't count for any points. You didn't really.
It's still moving.
Yeah, it's still moving. And then they just run over his head and everything else. Of course, in Citizen Toxic Part 4, they kind of make it even worse where they run over an old lady and then you see her shitting herself and stuff like that, head crush. But this one, seeing that in an 80s movie is like, oh, they killed a kid. What the fuck? It was good fun. It was just good fun. But you see how crazy these guys are. They're basically hit and run killers. Yeah. And then you see how they hate Melvin, so they want to play a prank on him. And you got the whole TNA. You got that whole little sex scene that one of the chicks is fucking one of the other punks, and he walks in there. He's like, just looking at it.
This is Melvin's fault, though.
I know.
They were playing it would have been a harmless prank. Melvin would have been embarrassed, no big deal. But then Melvin freaking out, running and jumping out of a fucking window
right into a fucking flatbed.
He would have known that was there, but he was like, I am so embarrassed, I have to kill myself.
Yes.
Level of embarrassment. So that whole thing was Melvin's fault right there. Yeah.
But I'm also talking about the sex scene he walked in. Remember where the girl goes, "I'll kill you."
Yeah. Which was fucking knife.
She was topless and everything else. I mean, a lot of tits in this movie. Yeah. There's plenty of it in there, but that's normal for Lloyd Kaufman films. Future films, more lesbian scenes. He loves lesbian scenes in his movies. But the whole scene with him just, I remember these two truck drivers are like snorting coke or something like that inside the car while they're just parked right in front of the gym.
That he's like, hey, you want to stop? Like, no, the boss wouldn't like it. We stopped, in a populated area. That would make a lot of rules. People get in a lot of trouble. Hey, remember that Colombian marching powder we did last time? Look what I got. Oh, hell yeah.
And it's funny because you see, I'm a truck driver. And you see a flatbed, and it's just got little fucking the barrels, or what are they called? The metal barrel,
55-gallon drums.
55, drums. And they're not out there. They're in the back of the flatbed. They're not even strapped. Or you can see them moving around on the flatbed when the thing's fucking moving.
Yeah. Or even have lids on them.
No, it's just fucking toxic fluid, just like sloshing all around, getting on the street. But he falls into the fire.
Well, also keep in mind, that town is the largest dumping ground for toxic waste.
Yeah, because of the mayor, because of the whole thing with the mayor, which was a little side story about the mayor about dumping their toxic waste and everything. But he falls into the drums, and he comes out. You can see his skin all pulsating, that 80s, with the blow ups underneath the latex and stuff like that. And that was a great fire scene. A guy who was set on fire. Better than all the other stunts in the future Lloyd Kaufman movies. I was actually very surprised. Like, it didn't even look like he had any protection on him. He was didn't look like he was wearing a suit.
They very
or anything.
well might not have been. All right, this was Kaufman.
They would be pushing the limit on that. But it was a good fire stunt scene. But then you see him at home, and I remember he's in the tub, and he's starting to transform into the Toxic Avenger. You see his skin all pulp, his chest all blow up and everything. And the mother says, "Are you all right in there?" and everything else. And then he starts having a deep voice.
My boy's going through puberty.
I fucking loved it. But then it just shows the little random, like, the edits in this movie are so fucking god awful. where you just see all these little montages of him running. And he's got a pink tutu on.
Yeah,
because that was part of the prank.
Yes,
where the woman says, "I get really turned on with pink. I'm wearing pink, so you should wear pink."
Yes,
gives him a pink tutu with polka dots on it. So that's part of his costume.
Yes, because that's what he was wearing when he melted.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the guy who played the Toxic Avenger, I thought he did a good job, but they don't show his face throughout the movie. It's mainly just like his arms and everything else. But then you just see all these little punk scenes where you got that little that scene with the three guys in the alleyway. One of them's like dressed up like a woman, and they're doing like kung fu and everything when they're I think we're trying to rape a woman or something like that. And he starts beating them to a pulp, basically, and doing gory scenes. And then they start doing kung fu on him, which there's a lot of kung fu in this movie. That's another thing. If you
that's Kaufman.
Yeah. Well, in the Toxic Avenger Part 3 or Part 2, I remember
I think it was Part 2 where they go to China.
What was it? Part 2 was in China. Yeah,
I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Part 2 was China.
But also, you got Sid and Toxie had a great fight scene between evil Sergeant Kabuki Man against Toxie. That was a fun scene.
Was awesome.
And then Sid and Toxie, or the original 90s classic?
Both.
Oh, yeah. It was fun. And that was his 90s, that was early 90s cheese right there. But it was Lloyd Kaufman. I mean, seriously. But just so many great scenes of montages of him basically being a superhero, basically like killing all the punks that are trying to, make disaster for everybody else. And then that scene in the restaurant. The scene in the restaurant.
Yep.
Which I love to this day, the old the fat guy behind the taco show. He's a hero. I don't know what it was and everything else, but he does a cameo in the Sid Toxie also. But that whole scene where you just hear the while he's like killing all the guys, putting the guy's hand inside the fryer machine,
the deep fryer,
making the sundae and just spraying him with whipped cream, putting the ice cream, and then putting him in the milkshake mixer. Just so many great gory scenes, and that whole scene when they're just. I think the guy had like almost like it kind of reminded me of Return to Nukem High, with the face paint and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it was like these different punks. And they all had like different names for groups. Like in Sid and Toxie, they had like the Diaper Mafia gang and the Nazis and stuff like that. But it was just a really cool scene of him just like destroying these evil guys. Like, what did you think of that scene altogether?
I thought overall, all of his scenes was, Toxie getting vengeance on evil in one way or another. And over the top ways. It was complete revenge killing fantasies.
Right.
And it's very immature. Yes. Over the top juvenile sense of right and wrong. But it worked. It really fit the characters and the tone that Kaufman was going for in Tromaville, and I fully bought in. I was sold the entire time to it, knowing how over the top and ridiculous it is, but that's what they're going for, and they succeeded in it. And when somebody's purposely trying to make a bad movie and they're having a fun time doing it, it comes across the screen and it's sold, versus somebody who's trying to make a good movie and failing, like The Room, and just being horrible at it. They're both bad movies, but in totally different ways.
Which one is better? Toxic Avenger?
This.
Good?
This.
Okay.
Light years.
Yeah.
Light years better. Now, they both provide a lot of enjoyment.
Yeah.
All right.
Enjoyment for making fun of The Room.
Yeah,
this one is just enjoyment because it's just pure.
We're laughing with Kaufman and the other Traumaville citizens.
They're not taking anything serious.
Yes, we're laughing at The Room and at the director. I'm blanking on his fucking name.
Oh my god, I completely forgot. For The Room, I'll look it up. Hold on one second. I remember.
Yeah, we're laughing at Tommy Wiseau. Wiseau.
Yes.
Whatever you pronounce his fucking name. We're laughing at him versus Kaufman. We're laughing with him. There's a difference. They're both bad, but
And Michael Hurst too. Michael Hurst was also
Michael
co-director
Hurst,
too. So.
I'll do this constantly. Tromaville, to me, Trauma as a whole, it's Kaufman. Without Kaufman, there is no Trauma. So yes, I give credit to Michael Hurst. I give credit to the actors. It was definitely a collaboration effort, but Kaufman is the guiding light. Kaufman is the Stan Lee of Trauma. The way Stanley was of Marvel.
And it's also a universe because most of his movies take place in
the same
Tromaville.
universe.
Yeah. Which I love about his movies. And the thing about this one is it's just stupid fun. It is not meant to be serious. And it's a $500,000 budget. I mean, there was a lot of horror movies that had a low budget. I think we even talked about a movie that
more than I thought it was going to be.
You seriously thought it was less than that?
I thought it was less than that.
Believe it or not, I thought the special effects for this movie were actually pretty good for its time.
They were fine, but in my mind, it was like, oh, this is ultra low budget.
Because there weren't many
ultra low budget.
There wasn't many sets in this movie. I mean, this movie was filmed on location in many places.
Yeah. I was thinking closer to like $100,000
really
for this film.
Really?
Just because how low budget it felt and everything they did.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, there was a lot of great the action sequences, like the whole when Toxic Avenger went into Bozo's car and they would do that whole driving scene. That was actually a fun scene.
It was.
When he was in the scene, he was trying to take over the car, and Bozo was like, "I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna fucking crash. Get off this wheel and everything." It was entertaining, and just seeing the car go all around, hit all these other cars. It kind of reminded me of the Blues Brothers with cars hitting each other and everything else. But I can see why the budget was a little bit higher on this.
That was a fun.
The Blues Brothers. I would love to do that movie. The Blues Brothers is a fun movie. That's
really, you'd love to do that? Go ahead, put it on your list. It's on your list. Here you go. It's on your list.
Well, you're the one that said
it's
first.
On your list.
You're the one that said first.
Movie. You're the one who said you would love to do that movie. There you go. It's on your list.
Okay, I'll do that movie. I have no problem doing the Blues Brothers. That's a fun movie. I'll do it. It's a great fucking musical. No, there was a lot of great scenes in this, and just like the gory scenes, the whole taco, the Mexican place, I believe the restaurant was called the Mexican Place, which is actually the real name. That's actually the real name of the restaurant. I looked that up in the trivia.
Mexican Place.
We're going to the Mexican Place. Yeah. Which I thought was really cool. But I love the whole thing where
right next to the Thai joint and the Chinese restaurant.
Yes. But that whole scene where the cops were inside and they're looking at all the bodies on the ground and stuff like that, and just eating tacos while they're talking about it. It was just good old fun to the point where
why wouldn't you eat them?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, but the blind chick. What did you think of her?
Showing that, beauty in love should go beyond skin, and you should be blind to the physical appearance that you can blah 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 yank. No, it was something that was trying to be deeper, and it was making fun of for trying to be deeper of a thing.
They had a good soundtrack though. I think it was Styx.
They had to give Toxie a love story, but realistically, they had to have a reason why the chick didn't fucking run at first, and making her blind was the way it works.
Well, her dog got killed from one of the guys seeing that dog get killed and everything.
That was fucked.
It was. I mean, it's something that's not respected in movies.
She's a fucking goddamn, your sightseeing dog. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. But
all right,
it's 80s cheese. Come on.
That's bullshit.
It didn't bother me. The dog didn't get hurt. It was just a fucking movie and everything, but still.
I don't know. I didn't see no fucking thing saying, no animals were harmed in the making of this film.
Which is funny. Did you remember seeing in the beginning of the movie?
That means that somebody fucking did.
But do you remember a lot of movies saying the whole thing, this movie with graphic violence and everything?
Yeah, they would have a little, that right there.
The disclaimer.
So that was, I think, because the time it was made, it was right around that weird time.
1984 is when the PG-13, I think when Temple of Doom came out, that was PG rated, but then that's when the PG-13 rating came out because of that movie.
Yeah, so it's in that weird time where ratings existed, but not like really existed, and so in order to get past certain things, it had to have certain acknowledgments, I'm betting.
And also the fucking mayor, and the cigar face, which is
I'm going to show you why they call me cigar face.
He actually is a cameo as one of the Nazis in Citizen Toxie as a older version, which is funny because he's actually the father of one of the guys that's in the diaper mafia gang. Citizen Toxie is so much fun. It's so much different from the first one, but they actually tell you in the beginning of the movie that oh, the Toxic Avenger, Stan Lee's talking about the whole intro and everything, but they say skip part 2 and part 3. This is the true sequel to the Toxic Avenger, which I thought was kind of funny because part 2 and part 3, it gets worse. Part 1 is a classic. I don't know. Would you call this a classic? Would you call this a classic?
A cult classic.
A cult classic. Okay.
Yes.
So I would say this is a cult classic, but part 2 and part 3 are they're so fucking god awful. And then when it gets to Sid and Toxie, then it goes to it's like more direct to video. It's an enjoyable romp compared to the first one, but first one still will remain. It's what made Lloyd Kaufman what he is today.
So it's Lloyd Kaufman or you Bowl? Which one do you think?
Oh my god! You talking about House of the Dead?
Yeah, better director.
That's a hard question because I remember he did Postal, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did Postal. He did. He also did some Holocaust movie too. I remember that. Oh God, I can't really compare this. I can't compare that. U-Bowl is a very bad director.
Yes,
but
also he has a very special style.
But the thing is, his style, I think, is because he's trying to be a good director. Lloyd Kaufman doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, but it's a very special style, and U-Bowl keeps getting fucking movies.
I haven't seen a movie from him in a while. What's the last movie he did?
I'm about to look up. Right
I know he did. Did he do one of the Exorcist movies? No, that was Rennie Harlan. I'm trying to remember. He did Postal.
Rampage in 2009,
yeah.
Blood Rain 2005, Postal 07.
He did some
In the Name of the King with
I remember
Jason Statham in 07.
Yeah.
Alone in the Dark with Christian Slater in 05.
Yep.
Far Cry with I don't know who that is.
I haven't heard of it.
2008, House of the Dead.
House of the Dead was horrible.
Rampage, President Down in 2016.
Yeah.
Blood Rain, The Third Reich in 2011.
Is
Rampage,
that the sequel?
Capital Punishment 2014, Name of the King 2, 2011, Blood Rain 2, Assault on Wall Street 2013. Auschwitz is the
I remember Auschwitz
Nazi.
when that came out. I never seen it, but I remember seeing the trailer for it.
All rats. We had a movie that came out in 2024, First Shift is what it's called. Don't know anything about it.
Okay, this is what I have to compare both. He's more mainstream, like people know U-Bowl.
Glorilla, Darfur, Max Schmeling, Alone in the Dark Part 2, Stoic, Suddenly.
He did Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, he did Alone in the Dark.
I know he did the first one. He did the second one too?
Apparently. Heart of America, The Final Storm, Do Not Expect Too Much. That was in 2023. Fuck You All, the U-Bowl story in 2018.
Well, you know what? That goes.
That's a great title. Fucking title.
Yeah, which makes me feel like,
title.
In a way, he's almost like a Lloyd Kaufman because Lloyd Kaufman says, "I don't care about you guys. I don't care about the Oscar winners. Our movies are more fun and stuff like that." That's what Lloyd Kaufman said himself. Who cares about all the Oscar winners?
I want you to look at this. I don't know. These are his movies.
Okay,
that's how many fucking movies that motherfucker did.
Lloyd Kaufman hasn't done as many as that.
Yeah.
So you're saying who's the better one?
Yeah. Because he's like, oh, well, he was just a little bit of time. Nobody doesn't get much work anymore. Bullshit.
Okay.
The motherfucker's still working.
I would have to say U-Bowl's better because he's got more bigger actors in his roles. He's also got more mainstream. His stuff has been theater released.
A lot of them.
Widespread. Lloyd Kaufman's more direct to video, underground. Lloyd Kaufman doesn't give a fuck about the acting. He doesn't care.
U-Bowl doesn't obviously care by the quality.
But his quality is probably a lot more better than,
they are, because for some reason he keeps getting money thrown
Postal was one of his, I think, his better reviewed films. I think Postal was good fun, actually, but so was Lloyd Kaufman. God, that's a hard question. That's a hard question.
You're welcome, bitch.
What's your answer?
I think Kaufman has a vision, and he gets that vision successfully out of his actors.
Right.
He is directing them in a way to deliver on his vision of the film.
Yeah.
U-Bowl, I don't think
it's been a while since I've heard
that's
from
his vision is what he's getting delivered on the screen. I don't think that's his vision. I think that's the best that they can do based on his directions.
Yeah. So you would say Lloyd Kaufman is
a more complete and successful of a director
because for the underground world. Because
No, yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah.
You know what? No, because U-Bowl, none of his movies are being remade. Toxic Avenger is being remade.
But there's multiple movies and sequels. Multiple of his movies,
but they're all direct to video, though.
It don't matter. Fucking so are all these.
Yeah, but the Toxic Avenger, which don't know what is going on with that movie.
So
I actually looked on some of it today. I remember even Peter Dinklage was in a podcast, and I looked at the interview and I said, "So what's going on with that?" And he said that he gets high praise of the director. It got a lot of applause in like Austin, where it was
at Fantasy Fest.
Yes, Fantasy Fest and stuff like that. But for some reason, I've also
no distributors want to fucking touch it,
and that's what I heard. I heard that the movie's so extreme that's why they don't want to touch it. It is too extreme. But that means they're following the same genre of what the Toxic Avenger is. Now, could the Toxic Avenger of 1984 be released right now to a mainstream audience?
But right now, you're still seeing, Poltergeist. When was Poltergeist?
Poltergeist was direct to video, though. It was independent
all
release.
These can be direct to video.
Yeah, but it was a limited release. It was only like in New Jersey.
I honestly, I don't expect Toxic Avenger, the Peter Dinklage one, and the other guy who's in it.
Kevin Bacon,
Elijah
Wood, and Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon, a big one right there.
But I'm not thinking. When I heard they were doing this, I'm like, okay, that's not going to be a theater release. Even if it is, it's going to be a very limited. It's going straight to video on demand or the streaming services,
like Stars or Netflix or something like that.
Yeah, and it'll be fine.
But the fact that Netflix, you said no distributor wants to release it.
No distributor
even Netflix
wants to touch it,
because Stars was the one that released Return to Class of Nukem High.
Yeah.
Those were released on Stars. So it was produced by Stars and everything else.
That's what the fucking problem is, which I don't understand.
Do you think it's shelved? Do you think it's never going to be released?
It very well could be one of those situations where I don't think it's going to go down as like a Batgirl, where it's never going to see light of day.
I hope
I think it's going to be one of the ones where it's just going to one day just be dropped on some fucking random platform, and there you go. It's going to be
definitely not like HBO
or footage type, not footage, but a lost media type situation,
like Peacock or Hulu or something. Well, not Hulu.
No, I think like something like fucking YouTube. It's just somebody's going to just have a copy of it, say fuck it, they're tired of fucking waiting, and just throw it out there.
Well, you know what? That could help it, because then people will see it and be like, why wouldn't this movie release? Because I can understand the extremeness of it, because the Toxic Avenger was extreme, and then you're basically
and I don't trust
adding more to
the
it.
Only public reviews they've gotten was from when they premiered it at Fantasy Fest in Texas. My gut is telling me those rave reviews and standing ovations were from longtime hardcore Kaufman and Trauma fans,
right? And
then also the few people who really enjoy like seeing Peter Dinklage or Kevin Bacon or Elijah Woods in a trauma setting, trauma universe.
Yeah.
And so they're losing their shit over seeing something like this with a budget, a Toxie film with a fucking budget.
Which I'm really curious about, because when I saw the images, Peter Dinklage is supposed to be playing Melvin.
Yeah.
But I also think he's playing the Toxic Avenger, and I think it's almost like a dwarf Toxic Avenger. Because I've seen like a footage of him where it's like you could see him in the image, but it's all like shadowed. So you see his
I don't
outline.
know if it's
Unless
a dwarf Toxic Avenger, or they still have him, but they have him doing like mocap.
Yeah.
And
you think it's all CGI?
It could be something like that, or they had like a body double and then they just like superimposed.
I saw a picture of Elijah Wood. What he looked like? He looked like a
fucking messed up ghetto penguin,
like a fucking crackhead. That's what he looked like.
He looked to me like a ghetto version of the penguin.
Yeah.
And like the penguin was fucking around in toxic chemicals. I'm talking about like Batman's penguin. All right.
Yeah.
That's what he fucking looked like. He looked dirty. He looked like he was about to start touching some kids. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. he looks creepy as fuck in the picture. I was like, I could see him being one of like the criminals that Toxic Avenger kills or something like that. But I don't know if they're following the same story.
No, it's what I understood. It was a new story. It was like a new reimagining.
So there might not be like a whole Melvin type of thing where it's like
it very well could be a Melvin, because he's still going to be carrying around. I'm pretty sure I saw stills with him carrying around a mop. So
like I said, I saw an image where it's a shadow and you see the Toxic Avenger and you could see the tutu in the shadowy. You don't see his face or his body, but you just see the black shadow. But you could tell that it looks like a dwarf. Like I can tell. That's what I'm wondering.
It's a stretch thing where it's showing him going from, his pre-mutation to, and it's stretching out to his big mutation.
Yeah, I'll have the photo down. It'll be at the bottom of the screen.
I mean, I don't know if we'll ever see it because I was super excited when I heard they were making it.
I think we were even planning on doing a review. I think that was going to be one of your reviews.
That was one of my potential ones for last year, and then was it last year? I want to say now, right?
It was last year.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And I remember, it might have been this year.
No, it was last year.
Was it last year?
It was last year.
We will in the future, if it ever does release, whatever it releases, me and you will do an episode on that. I have a feeling that's going to be one of our episodes.
But I think it's going to be one of those things where it's just going to be dropped out of the blue.
I hope it comes out. I hope it sees the light of day because I would love to see it. I mean, I'm curious to see what somebody's different take on a remake of a cult following of the Toxic Avenger. It's interesting the fact that it's got Kevin Bacon in it. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a fun movie, but I can understand the extreme because they're basically taking the craziness in the first Toxic Avenger and times it by 10 and probably making it more crazier, and that's why distributors are not taking it. But like you said, Toxic Avenger didn't really make it big on the theaters. It was more of a VHS. Yeah. This was something that you would saw in the video store. I remember seeing this in the video store. I remember seeing the original art. It's actually on the Blu-ray right here. This is the original art. Lucky I finished that. Right here. That is the original art that was
that's American
in the VHS.
Right there. That's
the VHS
goddamn American.
with the American flag and everything. In the background, this was the original art that I remember seeing at Video World, the place that I used to get rent videos, and I saw that. And I don't know. I'm really curious what they do with it. It's going to be interesting. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick break now.
What? A break?
Oh, we're taking a break, and we will be right back. We're having a great time talking about this. So we will see you guys in a few minutes. Hey, having a hard time trying to stay up, trying to record these podcasts late at night?
Or are you up late, working, driving trucks, working in the shop, trying to provide for that damn family of yours?
You need coffee.
Well, let us tell you about this one company we got right here. It's called Coffee Bros. Now, they got a very select blend of different roasts, light roast, medium, dark, espresso. Now, each one of these has its own flavor profile.
These two brothers from New York made this amazing company with an amazing coffee that you could order online.
So you just had the espresso roast?
Yes.
And did that thing wake you up?
I couldn't go back to sleep. Oh, man. It was smooth.
Nice.
It had that nice chocolate taste to it. You can just taste the chocolate.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't give you that bite like other coffees do.
Or bitter.
No, definitely not bitter at all. This is smooth, sweet, aromatic. This coffee here will absolutely wake you up when you need it to.
The coffee here is dedicated to freshness, quality, and consistency. Use the code BAF10 to get 10% off your entire order. The link for the website is in our show description. And I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. This coffee keeps you awake, especially for the late podcasting that we do.
Yeah, it's very much needed.
Try out Coffee Bros. Coffee Bros! All right, guys, we are back with the show. Stu, do we have a surprise?
We have a little surprise.
What do we have, buddy?
So, drink numero dos.
So we got a double drink today.
Yes. I decided on another shitty ass beer this time.
Yes, and I've had this one.
It is a very shitty beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got good old fucking Natty Lights up in the house. All right. We got the big boy can, 25 ounces, because that extra ounce is gonna make all the fucking difference. All right. That's gonna make all the fucking difference. It's a better value spend.
Yeah.
This is fucking piss water.
Yes,
all
it is.
right. But
why did you bring this shit?
Because it is cheap.
I prefer
garbage.
the other one than this.
It is cheap garbage. All right. And honestly, I kind of hate you. So I wanted you to suffer.
You're suffering too. You have to drink it also.
Sacrifice.
Well,
sacrifice.
I enjoyed Mickey's a little bit, went to the point where I got a good review. But yeah, 25 fluid ounces, natural light. Salute.
Prost, motherfucker.
Oh.
Again, this is Natty Light, not Natty Ice.
Did I say Natty Ice? All right.
No, you didn't. But I know a lot of people say that. Oh, that is water.
This is a zero.
That is water.
This is not. You know what? It's a thumb down. This is all right. It does its job. Cheap beer. Want to go out? I prefer Mickey's over this, but this just tastes like nothing. It tastes like fucking shit water. Steel Reserve. It's bad. It's nostalgic because I actually do remember drinking this a lot when I was younger. Me and Stu in our younger days, you know, when
I said
all we had was cheap beer.
Even then, I
actually drank this. I remember seeing this at parties when I went to it.
So this was garbage to me.
It was cheap, but it did its job. It's got alcohol in it, and that's what it was. The whole point of it. Sometimes you didn't go for the taste. You go
Miller and shit like that.
Oh, fucking Bud.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with goddamn Natty Lights. Even then, I could tell they were not good tasting.
But Red Dog is one that you remember.
Yeah, Red Dog. Red Dog.
Oh yeah. So seriously, this is a one thumb down. Not a fan of this. Would never drink this ever again. I'm drinking this just because it's purely for the show. Stu, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But this is nasty ass shit water, dog piss. Fuck. I hate it.
It's a 0.
But what am I
for
drinking?
me, it is water. It is flavorless almost. It doesn't deserve to exist. It is neutral. It is
What's the alcohol content in this?
It is plain. It's bread. It is
since 1977.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what the alcohol
Mickey's older
content.
than this.
Oh, Mickey's tastes better than this.
Yeah.
Mickey's shitty beer or shitty
malt liquor.
Right. But
right.
this is horrible.
25 fluid ounces, baby.
And I believe my dad used to drink this when he was. My dad used to get 12 packs of this back in the early 90s when this. And I can't believe they still sell this shit, but it makes its money. I mean, people that can't afford beer, they buy this shit. So
I'm trying to.
I can't find it. I was looking to see what the alcohol content in this.
It's got to be somewhere.
I thought it would be in the front. Only 4.7. Okay,
so it's less alcohol than the Mickey's that we just had.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a malt liquor. Yeah, one thumb down. We got a 0, so there you go. But is it recommended?
Fucking Natty
for
Light.
people that can't afford beer.
No, it's fucking Natty Light. All right, you can't afford fucking good beer. Go buy fucking Early Times.
Yes.
All right, fucking at least get drunk on fucking whiskey.
But you have to admit, it fits with the movie.
Yeah,
cheap movie, cheap beer. It does its goal to just drink a lot and get drunk. I mean, you got to drink a shitload of these, but it tastes like dog shit. But it's a cheap movie. It's
but once you start drinking these, you will be pissing all fucking night.
That is true.
You're going to be pissing all fucking night.
That's why we had to take our break because we already drank that whole
Ron and his little gnat bladder.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I knew you had to piss too.
I didn't fucking piss because I'm a goddamn man.
All right, well, I guess I didn't hold it in. But so there's not really that much to talk about more of the movie. I mean, we basically covered a lot to the point where, it's just cheesy fun, toxic superhero that, takes, beats up criminals and basically kills them to a pulp, basically gory messes and stuff like that, gets in love with the fucking blind chick and, sex scenes and stuff like that. Constant TNA and tits basically in this, which by the way, the chickens that got killed by or got burned by the heat rocks, it's a good rack on her. I'm going to say she had a good rack.
There's lots of nice tits. Lots of nice tits.
A lot of tan. A lot of
yes.
A lot of tan.
Yes.
White tits and tan all over the body.
The main bad girl, very, very pale titties compared to fake, the rest of the tan.
Yes.
But those tits were super pale.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
So we're
gonna like blended. You can tell she only wore that exact same top.
Whatever happened to tanning where you tan a whole body topless, but apparently no, they keep their top on.
They would at least sometimes move it around like that, so you had some fading. No, this was straight wearing the same fucking goddamn bikini top the entire time that I'm out in the sun. Every fucking time that I'm out in the sun, the exact same way.
Yep.
So that this is like the most pale that you can see. It's a ghost. It's Casper level.
Casper tits.
Casper titties.
Casper tits.
All right.
Oh, that's a takeaway from the show right there. Casper tits. We should just name the title of the show Toxic Avenger. Casper tits. All right. So we're mainly going to be covering just like our favorite scenes and our favorite kills.
Yes.
And then I do have one more question at the end, which is your favorite trauma film or a film that maybe your top 3 trauma films. I think that will be a fun one because that gives you more of a variety. So what is your favorite kill scene?
When he was taking the midget woman and folding her up.
Putting her in the fucking dryer.
Yeah. And folding her up right into that fucking shit. I was like, oh, goddamn.
That was yours?
That
okay. My favorite kill would probably be the Sunday mixer because the scene was so funny because it was just like, it was really focusing. He was putting the whipped cream. He was putting the fucking ice cream on there, putting a little cherry on top.
You got to make sure it's right.
Make it just right, and then put it right under the mixer, and you just hear the like the bear sounds basically in the background. But that scene was just so great. It was a great kill scene. There's a lot of great kill scenes in this, the hit and run kills and stuff like that. The chick being put on the hot rock for the sauna and everything. But that scene right there will always get to me. And then just that little fat guy going, he was a hero, and he was drunk and everything, the taco maker and everything. But it was that was probably one of my favorite kill scenes. So we'll go over our favorite scene all together. What is your favorite scene that you hugely enjoy in this movie? Oh, you had to think about this one.
It very well might have been him turning into Toxie from the time he jumped out the window
To the point where he's in the tub?
To the point where he's in the tub and becoming Toxie.
And
Which also the fact that this character has a nickname. It's fucking Toxie. All right. To all of us, we know who Toxie is.
Yeah.
All right. It's not Toxic Avenger. It's not Melvin. No, it's Toxie.
Yeah.
All right. That's our buddy. That's our buddy Toxie.
Yes.
All right. But it's that transformation right there. You could just take that snippet of a scene right there and you'll immediately know the level of quality of film that you're seeing, everything before and everything after.
Yeah.
Like, yep, this is it.
Yeah.
Right here.
I would have to say the first time he starts beating up the criminals in the alleyway, the one that's dressed up like with the wig and everything, and he says, "I'm not just a pretty face," and he starts saying that I'm gonna, reclaim this town. I'm gonna take away the evil and stuff like that. That was my favorite scene because you first see what this guy really does, and he doesn't have any superpowers other than super strength, and he uses
That's a superpower.
Strength.
That's a superpower.
Okay, well, not like
he's super strong,
and he has a mop,
and he is very damage resistant.
Yes,
he got lit up by the fucking mayor. All right, and
when he got shot up by the mayor when they were,
and
they had the fucking National Guard there, to try and destroy him,
fucking slow him down.
Yeah,
all right, got fucking that entire fucking gun was unloaded on him.
Yeah,
all right, and never even hesitated.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So strength and near invulnerability.
And his trusty mop. You got to remember every single kill that he always takes the mop and just stuffs it right on their head. I fucking love that.
That is a strong mop.
Oh, yes.
That mop
crushed the head.
Some shit.
It can crush the head. Yeah, it worked out perfectly. So, so that's probably our favorite scenes altogether. And I will say this as a strong second is the chase scene. The chase scene with the car. With Bozo in the car. I thought it was fun because he was in the car with them and he was just looking back as if they were hitting everything, hitting all the other cars, and just Bozo was just so over the top. His eyes, and where he would just like just scream, especially when he saw Melvin. It's just, I love his scream. Made me laugh. But so much great scenes in this movie. Before we get into our Pine reviews, like I said, this wasn't going to be a long episode. This was mainly
us sitting around shooting the shit
about a movie that me and Stu both love, and also the other movies other than that. So we're going to talk about our favorite top 3 trauma films. Our favorite top 3 trauma films, and I'm sure you've seen most of them.
Yeah.
From Lloyd Kaufman. So your top 3 trauma films, what are they?
This because
ranking one best to worst.
This by far, because it is, like I said, my introduction to trauma as a whole, and the Kaufman mentality, and realizing you could go and do something that you love and have a great fucking time, and make a living at it, and that's what they did. Every last one of them, even the guy who played fucking Melvin, weird looking as he fucking is, he's still out there touring the fan circuits and making money and shit like that,
because people love him. I mean, he is the original Toxic Avenger, and he's an old look. He looks rough, but
looks fucking
he
weird.
Loves what he did. He even actually makes a appearance in Citizen Toxie. So I suggest, if you've seen the Toxic Avenger, see part 4 to Citizen Toxie. You get a nice little cameo of Melvin at the end. It's really great.
But it's this type of mentality that makes me really happy.
Yeah.
My next favorite would probably be Poltergeist. This is a ridiculous concept.
Night of the Chicken Dead.
And I was like, this is insane. And honestly, I don't know who else could succeed at such a cracked out idea but Kaufman.
Yeah.
Or one of Kaufman's disciples.
What's cool about that movie is that Lloyd Kaufman enlisted not crew members, he enlisted fans from around the world to make that movie. And I will say this. I'm sorry to interrupt on this. I will say this, Lloyd Kaufman, the documentaries on the making of these movies are sometimes more entertaining than the movie because you see how much of a dick Lloyd Kaufman is. Lloyd Kaufman's a dick. I love you, Lloyd. But watching you are a dick, and it's fun to watch. It's very entertaining to see how he yells. He goes off on his crew, and it is great. So the crew are like,
but he gets what he wants.
Exactly.
And they look like they're having a great fucking time.
It's basically James Cameron minus 12 or something like that. That's how I see it. He's a very big dick, but he does the films the way he wants to do it. So, but that I will say about Poetry Grace. That was a fun part, enlisting the fans to be a part of that.
And then probably Romeo and Juliet. It's probably number 3. Just because it takes a well-known story that's been done to death a billion fucking times in one way or the other, and
it's like a Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
it's been used done so many times. Yeah,
and then puts the Kaufman spin, and it works. It fucking works. And yeah, in that order.
Okay. I will agree with you. Toxic Avenger is part 1. Toxic Avenger is a classic, cult classic. It's so much fun. It's to me. I think we were talking about this stupid fun because you don't think it's stupid fun.
It's stupid and it's fun.
Yeah, but it's not the stupid fun genre.
To me.
See, I don't understand. That doesn't make sense.
It's one of those good things. It's just when you see it, and I can't explain why I don't think it's stupid fun.
Yeah,
it is stupid and it's fun.
Yeah,
but it's not stupid fun.
Okay. So Toxic Avenger is part 1. My second one's gonna be the first one that I've seen, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet, I had so much fun with it. It really connected me to the whole Tromaville universe. Lloyd Kaufman. It made me hunt out his other films to see them all. When I saw Troma's War and Class Nukem High and Sergeant Kabuki Man. I mean, Tales from the Crapper, which is an interesting take on some of his of movies and stuff like that. He does a great job. It's just goofiness. It's fun. It's a different take, like Stu said, of the Romeo and Juliet that's been done countless times, but done it in Troma fashion. And it's fun. It's worth a watch, and it's got a lot of actors in it that you wouldn't expect. I mean, James Gunn wrote it, and also James Gunn's brother plays a key role in it, which is actually the guy that gets the flute in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
He actually plays the skinny brother inside one of the Capulets or whatever, something like that. But it's worth a watch. My number 3. See, this is the hard part because I want to put Citizen Toxie. Huh?
You said hard.
Yeah, I guess. I said I was thinking about Citizen Toxie, but Poltergeist is a lot of fun because I love zombie universe, and it's a different take on zombies because it's chicken. It's Night of the Living Chickens, basically, and it takes place in an old, because they use an abandoned McDonald's to make this film, and it's a musical. It's a fucking musical, and it's got some funny, the dialogue, the lyrics. It came out really funny and hilarious. I even have the soundtrack. I love it so much. So Poltergeist would have to be my number 3.
Score horror on.
Hey, that's not the score. That's whatever.
You.
But altogether, I have to go Poltergeist. So it's kind of funny that me and you have basically the same exact ones, but it's just ranked differently. Yeah. Poltergeist would be my 3rd, but yeah, that would be my top 3. So I think we're good to get on the fine reviews. Okay. I think we're ready. I'm actually really curious how this is going to turn out because, a lot of people will see this film.
Go ahead and start because...
Oh, no, I'm the one who started this. You start first.
I only did the fucking drinks. Fuck you.
Okay, right. Well, then you're going to be shocked at mine because I already had mine in settings.
I got mine locked.
Well, let's see. My enjoyment, you know what? I'll go to my critical first. My critical for this movie is a 2. It's just like we actually did Silent Night, Deadly Night a couple weeks before. Well, we did it the night, but this is being released a lot more.
We don't know when this is being released. This is one we're just recording and throwing in the vault somewhere so that when we need an episode to drop, we're ready to go.
Which we do in our show.
That's why Ron is still Gimp Ron right now.
Yeah. Probably when this is released, I'll be completely fine. But the thing is that Like,
odds are when this is released, you might have lost your feet by then.
probably.
That in my mind.
Not with my carnivore diet. No, I've cut sugar out of my life. I've cut sugar out of my life.
No, fuck you. You had multiple drinks. All right, fuck you.
Once a Friday
Fuck
is not
you.
a big deal.
This ain't Friday. You drank Friday, and that was last night. Today's Saturday.
We had one drink last night. We didn't even have any punishment shots last night. We didn't have barely any alcohol last night.
I don't want to hear about that shit.
No, like we said the same thing. We had
You're losing your feet.
We had Con
That's
Air.
my fucking goddamn timeline.
We recorded Con Air at the beginning of the summer, and we got released in November. I mean, that we hold to a lot of our episodes, so we never know when it's released. But the fact is
we know when a lot of our main episodes are going to be released.
Yeah,
this is like a peek behind the ghetto curtain that we have.
Might be a bonus, or it might be a Monday release, depending on whatever. But you know,
no, this is going to be a full bore release.
You want it to be a full release?
Yeah, it'll be a full release.
Okay, it'll be a full release then. So, I guess for my critical, will be a 2. It's cheaply made. It's not. The gore effects for the time are good. I think it works. It is very bad, but it works. The acting is fucking horrible. The dubbing, the editing, the cuts. I even want to give it a lower critical review, but I'm giving it a critical higher because from what they had and what Lloyd Kaufman was doing, it still works. It was a landmark in trauma history. And this is Lloyd Kaufman's baby right here. This is his story, and he enjoys it. He always refers to this movie and all of his other movies. Toxic Avenger is trauma. It is the face, the label of trauma. So I have to give it a 2 for enjoyment. Now, people are going to be shocked by this, but being a trauma fan, I have to give this. You're going to be shocked at this. I'm giving it a 5. I love this movie. I think it's fun. I can watch this over and over again and laugh and enjoy it. That's why I'm not giving it a critical review for so high, because critically it's a bad movie. It's shit. It's a really bad movie, but I usually enjoy this movie, so I have to give it.
So this is no Predator, is what he's saying.
No, it's no Predator, but enjoyment, it goes in with those because it's just so much fun. I'm watching this movie. I was watching this last night before we reviewed this. And I've seen this many times, but I watched it again and I had a smile on my face the whole fucking time. And I was looking over at Sammy, aren't you loving this? And she's just giving me like this is stupid. I mean, that's basically what she was. But I grew up watching this movie and I enjoy it. I can never turn this movie down. I do recommend this for people to watch. The thing is, it might not be your thing. It probably is a lot of people like, why would you think that's a fucking enjoyment of 5? Because I enjoy stupid movies. I enjoy having fun, just like you enjoy. What's that movie with the 2 guys with the tattoo? Dude, Where's My Car? Yeah, Dude, Where's My Car and stuff like that. This is my Dude, Where's My Car. I enjoy this so much, and I enjoyed 80s cheese. So that's why I have to give this a 5. So I think it's very rare that I would give a high enjoyment of a 5 to a critical being so fucking low. But that's what I mean. It doesn't have to be a horribly, it could be a horribly bad movie and still be enjoyable. You know, you can still have a good time and fun with it. So I don't expect you to have a 5, but I'm curious what you're going to have. I think it's going to be between. Well, my guess was between a 3 and a 4, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. So, but I am going with a 5. I'm sticking to it. I've been thinking about this since last night. And I was like, I'm sticking with a 5. I enjoy this. I really enjoy this movie. I can watch it all the time and not have an issue with it. But critically, it's a bad movie. So that's why my critical is way low. So 5 enjoyment, 2 for critical.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and I'll take your lead and I'll start with my critical. Critical is a 1.5 to me.
Okay. I can see that.
It is horribly acted. It is horribly written. The special effects are okay, but you can tell super fucking low budget.
Yeah.
To the point where I was shocked at how much this fucking money spent.
Yeah.
All right. You came and told me that this was like a $20,000 or $30,000 movie. Oh, you were expecting? Yeah, they did a great fucking job with that. Tell me it's a $500,000 movie. Oh, that doesn't seem like a $500,000 movie to me.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. All right. It is not. No trauma film is thought to be a great critical film.
Yeah.
But so that's where I'm going with my critical rating.
No, your enjoyment, I'm curious about.
Enjoyment, this is a 4.25 to me.
Hey, right? That's still really high.
Absolutely.
That's still really high.
Yeah. Super fun.
Yeah.
Like I said, and this hit me at the right time in my life. when I'm, appreciating B horror movies. And I come across this, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this isn't a horror movie, but it's over the top. It's insane. It's people just.
So what would you put this in the genre of?
I not horror.
So would you put it in superhero genre?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say superhero.
Not like action adventure, because most superhero movies are put in the genre of action.
Nope.
Just superhero.
It's a superhero.
Okay.
Fucked up, crazy superhero.
Yeah.
But superhero. It's a drama in the very lightest forms. It's a comedy. It's a romance. It's a little bit of everything.
It's got a good soundtrack too.
But no, overall, this is a superhero film, and it's a fucked up telling of a superhero film. That is looking for excuses to have creative kills and violence and tits, and they succeeded. That's what it is. And just go in there and appreciate the fun that they were having doing this, and you'll enjoy it. You go in there trying to look for goddamn Schindler's List, you're going to want to slice your fucking wrist. That's not what that film is. This is garbage that's meant to be garbage. This is high fructose corn syrup of movies. It is meant to be bad for you. You're going to regret imbibing it, but during the time, you're going to have a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Okay. I absolutely recommend this to people. With that stipulation, just go ahead and watch it, and just know it's meant to be bad, and they're having a fun time doing it.
Yeah.
All right, and that's what it is.
Hey, 4.25. Yeah, I agree that anything above a 3 is good. So a 4.25 for this movie, that's a good rating. Yeah. And the thing is, I give this, like I said, I gave this a 5, and I'm sticking to it because I really enjoy this movie. I enjoy Lloyd Kaufman. I've always been a fan of Lloyd Kaufman's work, and his other movies are just stupid fun. It's just fun. It's not Oscar-winning material. It's not like serious shit. It's just stupid comedy, gory, TNA fun. It's just, that's what it is. It's basically like almost like a brain porn to enjoy. It's eye candy.
Yeah.
I enjoy this movie, and I'm so glad that we finally got to do this episode. This was
We've
so
talked
much
about
fun.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Doing a trauma film. We've been going back and forth about what it's going to be for a long fucking time. And
Do you want to do another trauma film in the future?
somewhere in the future, we'll see eventually when it fits our schedules.
Yeah.
So
I do think that there's some other future episodes of me and Stu that we're planning on doing because, like I said, I really enjoy where me and Stu have our chemistry because we started this podcast. Me and him are the original founders of this podcast, and we have a lot of fun just me and him talking about things. You should check out our other episodes we've done. The Last Blockbuster, it's audio, it's not video, but it's
to walk down memory lane.
Yeah, it's a great episode. Our Christmas episode, Reindeer Games. I think me and you had a lot of fun with that episode.
What I want an episode where we're on the opposite sides of the track on. Like, one of us really, really fucking loves it. One of us really fucking hates it.
That would be
I want
good.
that, and that's just arguing and trying to convince the other person why they're wrong.
That's a good idea.
It's going to be hard to, find something that we are so decisively against one way or the other.
I know one.
Okay.
I already know one if you want me to say it.
Sure.
Donnie Darko.
I do enjoy Donnie Darko.
I hate that film.
I enjoy Donnie Darko.
I hate that film. I don't know why everybody has such a big, a thing towards that movie. And I remember me and you talking about that.
Okay. Yeah, that could be something that would be fun. Just me and you just arguing back and forth.
I don't understand why that movie's so popular.
And I'm going to have to do my best not to make fun of you for not understanding it.
But no, seriously, this was a fun episode. As you can see, I'm wearing a Toxic Avenger shirt because that's how much I'm a fan of this movie.
As you can see, I'm wearing green because green.
Toxic. Toxic colors. So seriously, guys, make sure to check out and like our video on YouTube, and also
ring-a-ling, ding-a-ling in order to get notifications.
Yes, and also check out Barrel Age Chicks because they do an amazing show, and also check out all of our other episodes. We have we got Goot, Ragnar, Chase, and Adam. And Adam has been a new host to our show, and he's done a great job. And it's been great. We're having just so much fun doing these shows and talking about the movies we love or the movies that we hate. You know, that's that's the fun thing about the debate between each other on different reviews and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy us for our next episode. And we're calling out. Later, guys.
Have a great day.
I wish you